राज्यसभा में संविधान पर 2 दिवसीय चर्चा की शुरुआत सोमवार को वित्त मंत्री निर्मला सीतारमण ने की। वित्त मंत्री ने 1 घंटे 20 मिनट की स्पीच दी। वित्त मंत्री ने कहा, कांग्रेस पार्टी परिवार और वंशवाद की मदद करने के लिए बेशर्मी से संविधान में संशोधन करती रही। ये संशोधन लोकतंत्र को मजबूत करने के लिए नहीं, बल्कि सत्ता में बैठे लोगों की रक्षा के लिए थे। इस प्रक्रिया का इस्तेमाल परिवार को मजबूत करने के लिए किया गया। मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे और राहुल गांधी ने संसद के दोनों सदनों के पीठासीन अधिकारियों को चिट्ठी लिखकर संविधान पर चर्चा कराने की मांग की थी। लोकसभा में 13 और 14 दिसंबर को संविधान पर विशेष चर्चा हो चुकी है। पीएम मोदी ने शनिवार को चर्चा के दौरान लोकसभा में संविधान पर विशेष चर्चा में भाग लिया था। इस दौरान उन्होंने सदन में 11 संकल्प रखे थे।
Respected Jairam Ramesh ji refers to the work of Granville Austin with a left-handed compliment saying, we read it, but does anyone in the ruling party read it, sir? And he says, masterly book. Yes, masterly book. He tells the full story of the amendment carried out till 1980. So I'm starting from 51, and I'm also going on that journey, talking about amendments, their purpose, their intent, their process. Now, since Jairam Ramesh has mentioned it, and there is some Granville Austin's line that I like to quote back to him. Sir, emergency, 42nd Amendment Act, the landmark Keshwananda Bharati case of 1973, the basic structure, doctrine, whole lot of things. In the words of that masterly Granville Austin, I quote, sir, the important constitutional development of the emergency, other than its very imposition, was the enactment of the 42nd Amendment. Austin says this. And he further says, coming in November 1976, the amendment demonstrates the progression of the Prime Minister, referring to Mrs. Indira Gandhi. I really quote again. Coming in November 76, the amendment demonstrates the progression of the Prime Minister and her government from having near absolute power without a coherent program, other than the protection of her prime ministry to power expressed through fundamental constitutional change. So, unquote. Exactly the point that I'm putting forth about emergency, the way in which 42nd Amendment passed through, how opposition leaders were all in the jail, not one person to oppose in the Rajya Sabha, in the Lok Sabha, just 5 of them speaking against it. When Granville Austin has said this, poor Jairam Ramesh did not mind quoting something else from Austin, but ignored this. Point proves. So the selective.
प्लीज आप बैठ जाएं। माननीय शक्ति सिंह जी आप जगह लें प्लीज। माननीय जयराम रमेश जी।
I have Granville Austin in my hands right now, and the same Granville Austin writes that the 44th Amendment was passed by the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha to override the 42nd Amendment, large parts of the 42nd Amendment. And who voted on the 7th of December 1978 to repeal parts of the 42nd Amendment? It was Indira Gandhi herself. So Indira Gandhi in 1978 voted to repeal the parts of the 42nd Amendment which she realized had resulted in her electoral loss. So it's not, don't read selectively.
Thank you, Jairam Ramesh. Please. Now, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, sir.
Please.
Thank you, sir.
You have responded. You have responded, please. 1978. Please. Maanनीय जयराम रमेश जी, please be brief. माननीय जयराम रमेश जी, प्लीज बी ब्रीफ।
सर, मैं आदरणीय रमेश जी का ज्ञानवर्धन करना चाहता हूं कि 1978 में मोरारजी देसाई वाज द प्राइम मिनिस्टर, जनता पार्टी की सरकार थी और जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने 42nd अमेंडमेंट को 44th अमेंडमेंट से हटाने का काम किया और आपको जनता ने हरा दिया था। श्रीमती इंदिरा गांधी was no more the prime minister, and when she was the prime minister, तब उन्होंने हर तरीके से प्रजातंत्र को रोकने का, गला घोटने का काम श्रीमती गांधी ने किया था।
जयराम जी प्लीज,
मुझे सुना नहीं, मुझे ठीक तरीके से उन्होंने सुना नहीं। मैंने कहा था 44th अमेंडमेंट आया 1978 में, मोरारजी भाई प्रधानमंत्री थे और 6 दिसंबर 1978 में लोकसभा में इंदिरा गांधी जी ने वोट किया 44th अमेंडमेंट के लिए। यही तो मैंने कहा था।
ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर प्लीज, माननीय मंत्री जी, सिर्फ माननीय मंत्री जी की बात रिकॉर्ड पे जाएगी प्लीज।
Thank you very much, sir, and I fully accept Jairam Ramesh's observation. Obviously, Leader of the House was right in saying Morarji Desai was the Prime Minister, and during the voting, Srimati Indira Gandhi had said that, and she supported the changes in the changes to the 42nd Amendment. Very well. But the idea that I have right from the beginning said, yes, Der Aya Durust Aya is what the Hindi language gives me, but the fact remains, and I'm glad that she changed her mind. It was such an improper thing to do during an extended tenure of the parliament, and an improper thing, even worse, to do, putting the opposition and then seeking a constitutional amendment. So at least in 78, after a massive defeat, which of course later she overturned and won the election and came, that's a process, that's an electoral process. That is the electoral process, and electoral process does teach lessons. Does teach lessons, and Srimati Indira Gandhi learned that lesson. I want to say this to the Congress party today. Srimati Indira Gandhi learned the lesson, and I'm happy Jairam Ramesh says that she stood up to support the amendment Morarji Desai and his government was bringing. But today's Congress, sir, I'll come to that. Sir, today's Congress is the matter.